Hello students, this is PDG ma'am, and in today's video I will be giving you some advice, suggestions, tips on how to score a 10 on 10 in your project, which is the market survey. So this is specifically for class 12 EP students, and by this time I'm sure you're almost through with your projects, and I will be just giving you certain tips and advices so that you can, if you think of improving your files a bit more, you can obviously do it. So this video I'll divide it into different parts. Okay, like the first part I will be just briefing you out about the project. Then I will be talking about the common mistakes that I find in most of the students whenever we go out for corrections or whenever we go out as examiners. So the common mistakes or the places where we find that the student could have improved a bit more. So those things I will be talking about, or rather pointing out. And then in overall, or overall, what are the things you can keep in your mind so that you don't lose out your marks. So it will be my advice and my request that don't skip the video, listen to it if you're really interested in scoring a 10 on 10 on your project. Now this video will not guarantee you a 10 on 10, but this video will guarantee you that if you can actually follow these tips and advices, you will definitely score good marks in your project. Okay, so let's start with it. Now the first project, okay, let's talk in general. When we talk about entrepreneurship, then you know that your division is 70-30, right? So 70 goes for your theory and 30 marks is there for your practicals, which is a huge amount and easy to score also, provided you take your projects and practicals seriously. Okay, so if you really want to score high, you should concentrate on this 30 marks, because if you're not scoring good in this, your chances of scoring above 90 comes down. Okay, so now if you're concentrating on this 30 marks, how is it divided? It is divided into, again, 4 categories. 10 on the first project, which is market survey, on which I shall be discussing today. The other 10 is for your second project, which is business plan, which I will take up in another video of mine. All right, and then you have 5 marks for numericals, or as we call it, the written part, and you have another 5 where you have to answer. That is your viva. Right, I'll go to the next video because this will end and I'll continue, so please keep watching the next video. This is the second part of the video. The first part, if you have watched it, then you already know by this time that I have already discussed about the different parts of your practicals, and now I'm concentrating on market survey and I'm telling you on how to score good marks in market survey. The first thing, in order to score good marks in market survey, is you should follow the instructions that are given out to you by the board and which is there given out in your textbook, and it's beautifully given out. Okay, so by this time you should be having your CBSE textbook with you, and at the end of it, when you go to the end of your textbook, you find the guidelines for your practical examination, where in detail everything has been specified. So if you have gone through your textbook, if you have seen this part, if you have read line by line and have not just skipped any of the portions, then already you have the key, towards success. If you follow this carefully, then it is there in front of you. You should be getting a 10 on 10. Okay, now suppose you have the book, you have read this, but still you are in doubts, still you don't understand everything, then what to do? So that is where I'll try to help you out. Okay, there are certain points where you people miss out marks. I will be concentrating on them, and I'm sure that will help you out. The first thing is, please pay attention to how you are presenting your project. Okay, presentation matters. We are not judging a book by its cover, but in today's world, if you don't present your work well, it just shows callousness from your point of view. It shows that you are not serious about your project. Okay, so don't give examiners a chance to judge you by seeing the cover itself in a negative manner. So you should present your file in a decent manner, in a proper way. Now, when I say a decent manner, proper way, there are certain things which you should keep in mind. Use a standard file size. Use standard file page size also. Uh, Preferably the A4 size. And please do ensure that your pages are not coming out of the file cover. Well, this is what I find for some of the students. Pages are not all, they are not of same shapes and sizes. Some are just coming out of the file, and it looks very ugly, it looks untidy. I'm sorry to say, but this is how I should say it. Don't do it. Don't spoil it. Okay, the next thing that you should pay attention to is the cover. Neatly cover your file. Okay, do not unnecessarily decorate the file, that's not required. If you are decorating it, please ensure that the decorations relate to the topic of your project. Okay, you're big enough, you don't need stickers, you don't need unnecessarily glitter tapes and this and that and flowers and cartoon figures to decorate your files. Just decorate it sensibly. Okay, it should be neat with whatever information needs to be given should be there. What are the basic information that should be there on your cover? That is the file cover. Your board's roll number, the academic session that you can mention. You can mention your subject, you can mention the project topic, and the project number also you can mention, because this is project 1 market survey. Okay, so board's roll number, academic session, entrepreneurship, project 1 market survey. If you put this much of information, that's good enough. Okay, now next thing that I will be talking about are 4 pages which are part of your file, which many a times I find you people not giving much attention to, because you feel these are not the main part of your project. True, these are not the main part of your project, but these are part of your project. You start your project with these pages, or you end your project with these pages, and they do have an impact on the entire project. What are those 4 pages? The acknowledgement page, the certificate, the index, and the bibliography. Acknowledgement is a place where you show your gratitude towards your subject teacher, your school, your principal, head of the institution, the board, for giving you an opportunity to show your creativity and innovativeness. Okay, so make sure you are actually showing that while writing the acknowledgement. Make your acknowledgement look neat. Pay attention to the neatness and tidiness of your project. Okay, so acknowledgement should be there. Your files shouldn't be without the acknowledgement. All right, you can put your name at the bottom of the acknowledgement page. That I'm sure your teachers must have told you by now. Next is certificate. Certificate is actually something that the teacher will be giving out, but what we tell you all to do is keep the format ready, and we will just fill up the necessary places. Okay, certificate, it looks good if it's a printed one. So you can print out a standard certificate. Your teachers will also help you out. I'm sure they have already told you, just the way I have told my students. Again, this will end. So I'll continue again. Now we will talk about the index. Now index is very important, okay, and I find a lot of mistake in this index page, which is actually very simple, but I still find a lot of mistakes there. Now see, index needs to have a few columns. Okay, that's how an index page should be formatted. That's the typical format of index. You can obviously make it a little different, but you please ensure that these particular columns are not missing. What are those columns? So you start with index, you put it on the top as index, and then you draw some columns. What should be the column headings? You should have serial number, then you should have details or particulars or information, whatever. You give some name to your column. Normally we put details. Okay, next we have page number. Now this page number is very important. Many of the students miss out on this page number. So index should show the page number. Okay, so, just parallel to your topic, just beside that you should indicate the page number. From this page to that page is that particular topic. So page number, don't miss out on this page number. Then leave a column for the teacher's remarks and teacher's date and the teacher's signature, or the signature can be there at the bottom also. So leave some space for the teacher to provide for the teacher to give the date and to put the remarks. So please ensure that your index, the information are there, that what the file contains. It's the contents page actually with the page number. Make sure you have the page number. Next, we have the bibliography. Now, bibliography is something that you put at the end of your project, where you thank, or where you don't actually thank, but you give the sources from where you have got some kind of information, so you mention all the sources there, because now today's world we are absolutely dependent on Google. We are taking information from different sites. You can also take the help of your books or magazines or journals. So from wherever you have collected some information which you have somehow used in your project, you should talk about those things in your bibliography. Don't miss out on these pages, because these pages are part of your project. Okay, I have seen many of you missing out this, and this gives us a place not to give you a 10 on 10. Okay, next will be next what I will be talking about is actually very important. Is now I'm coming to the basic part of your project. Okay? Now, topic you already know, so you can either choose one of the projects which has been given out here, or you can choose a product of your own choice. Okay, where you actually do what? You compare. This will again end. I'll continue. The next part that I will be talking about is actually the main part. Okay, but I'm not doing it in this video because this has already been of 12 minutes or so. I don't want to make it even more longer. So I will be discussing about it, and you shouldn't miss that out, because that contains the subject matter about the project itself. That I'll do in a separate video. So if you have watched this, please watch that. It will help you out. Okay, so there, what are the things I will be discussing? What is your project all about? What are you supposed to do in your project? What are the different pages and headings that should be there in your project? Where are the things, or rather, what are the things on which the examiner gives you marks or cuts your marks? What are the things that we as teachers look for in the project? So all those things in details, and what is the purpose of market survey? What are we looking for in your questionnaires? And what are we, when we talk about the analysis, what do we mean by the analysis part? Okay, so all these things I will be discussing in my next video. So please watch that. I'm sure it will help you out. Thank you. This is PDG ma'am. Take care.